Estamos aquí con Diamondprox, jungla legendario de la historia de Europa. Ya todos deberíais conocerlo si tenéis algún tipo de insight en el LoL, que bueno, hoy se nos une para darnos una pequeña entrevista, comentar un poco qué tal se encuentra después de la derrota contra Cloud9. Diamond, how are you doing after your results yesterday?
Something hurts inside, like really hard. I don't know what it is, but it's always the feeling like that when you lose. You have a hard feeling in your heart. But yesterday was, I think, the roughest loss that we've had in the recent maybe 2 years or something. Because when we lost to Flash Wolves at MSI, we at least knew that Flash Wolves is actually much better than us. We just stood no chance, except if we would just play it out of our mind. But against C9, I didn't feel like they were much better than us, but we still lost, so it's even worse feeling.
Yeah, actually one of the factors against C9, there is a bit of a curious thing that everyone that played on blue side won their game, and since it's a bit hard to get winning matchups on the top lane from red in this meta, how big of a factor do you think it was that Licorice was able to get a flanker and sort of pinch you guys and get big plays for Cloud9? Do you think this is the main reason why blue side was so favored, or are there other bigger factors?
I actually don't know why the blue side was the so much bigger favorite than the red side, because on the red side, at least as both teams drafted, like maybe one game, Cloud9 gave us Urgot for free almost, and this game was like won because of blue side. But I think we won both games because of blue side, because Cloud9 made a mistake in their draft. They first let Urgot come through, and second they let me get Talia, and but I'm not sure if the blue side won them their games. So I don't really remember the draft of the games of all our games on red side. But I think, for example, the last game, I think the drafts were kinda equal. It's just the execution that was different.
I think it could be argued that there isn't that many strong junglers in this iteration of the World Championship. Who do you think are the strongest junglers in the tournament, and what do you like about them?
You mean champions or players?
No, players.
Oh, I actually don't know. I think there are quite a lot of junglers that are like considered good and that are good players, but there are also players that are good but are like people didn't know about them before. For example, the jungler of G-Rex was pretty good. I think he's one of the like good junglers of the world. I wouldn't say the best, we need to see if he's there, but he played really well against us, and I think their team is very strong overall. And also I think like there's all the Korean junglers are obviously great. MLXG, Karsa is in RNG, right?
Yes.
Okay, so MLXG and Karsa are great. Mujin is still in Flash Wolves. I think Mujin, if he is in his good shape, he is a great jungler, but he might fall off. Like, he is not that consistent, I think, but he is definitely a good jungler. So I think there are a lot of good junglers on this world.
I remember Edward said in an interview that since Logic joined, everyone in the team wanted to have at least 1 year together to sort of mash and see how things would go. Is a roster swap or maybe getting some new players something that's on your mind after this world's results?
I think we will have still to talk as a team about what everyone wants and how everyone sees our problems and what we achieved, and who wants to move forward with which goals, and like basically like if someone wants to leave the team or stay with the team, and after that we will like discuss whether we want to change the roster or not. But I think we've made a good progress with this roster, but I'm not sure if this progress is fast enough, because the game improves so fast that the immense progress that we made in the past year was just enough to basically get so close to winning C9, which is like not a world level like performance. So I think there might be some changes in the roster.
You were talking now about how league changes so fast and sort of the game developed. You are one of the most veteran players currently playing today. What do you do to keep up with the new rising talents?
I think I naturally keep up with the new talents. It's just I need to control a couple of factors. I need to not tilt, like to not ruin myself practice time, because like even if younger players tilt much more than me, I think they probably enjoy the game more, and therefore they improve faster. So I need to tilt less, so I have more time to overcome them. Second factor is I really try to work on myself in terms of like gameplay, because sometimes I let myself to just intuitively improve, but sometimes I feel like I just have to do the work on myself. So maybe that helps too. I don't know what younger players are doing to like keep themselves in the good shape. Maybe if they're doing the same as I was doing in their age, so basically nothing, just intuitively improving at the game, then I'm doing more than them. But if they improve themselves too, then we're equal.
And talking about, you know, your vast experience in the game, we recently knew, even though it is not confirmed yet, that your old team, Unicorns of Love, is not going to make it into franchising. Apparently, how do you feel about this news?
When I read it on Reddit, I thought it's a joke or some kind, and then I understood that it might be true, that it's still rumors, but it might be true. I'm not sure still if it's rumors or if it's true, but I'm really afraid if that happens, because I know a lot of people from Unicorns of Love. I know Shippy, I know his dad, basically the guys that like hold this organization together and work on its improvements, and it's just going to be really sad to lose them, because I think they're one of the only European teams that worked with their fan base, that grew their fan base, that actually worked really hard to. They didn't have much money, you know, but they still were on a decent level in the league. Like they worked with a roster that they could work with the amount of money they have, and I think it will be just sad losing this quality of organization in the LCS if it happens.
And it's not only in EU that we get franchising. The Turkish league is also going into it, and even LATAM, they are going to unify the leagues. Do you think for TCL it would be good to get franchising? Would it improve the league in any way, or is it not yet ready for this sort of structure?
I don't think I'm capable of answering if franchising is a good thing of some league or if it's not, because it's just this question. To answer it, you just need to be so experienced in sports, and I think you need to be experienced both in sports and esports to comply both of these things and understand how franchising is going to work for each league. So I'm not going to do any predictions. I'm just not capable of doing them, sorry.
Well, since TCL is not franchising, and also we have new German regulation that makes it way easier to get 90-day visas, would you consider coming back to the EU LCS?
But as far as I know, the visas that are easier to get are the tourist visas, and to play in LCS you need to have a working visas. I don't know if rules has changed for them, or maybe some new organizations will have much more help than the previous ones with that, but I don't know if our team somehow falls apart or something bad emerges. I think Europe is my favorite region to play in.
And now something a bit more for the Spanish audience. We heard that Gambit used to screen teams like Mad Lions or Kiev, in general, just train with the Spanish team. What do you think about the level of the Spanish league?
I cannot say about the level of Spanish league because I haven't watched how they play in tournaments, but from scrims, first of all, you cannot precisely judge teams from scrims, but But we played with Spanish teams a lot, and we played with some LCS teams, and I saw how LCS teams play. I think Spanish teams are a little bit below than top 5 European LCS teams, but they're comparable to the bottom 5 of LCS teams for sure.
Was there any player that caught your eye, maybe?
I think there were players that caught my eye, but I sadly didn't try to remember their nicknames.
Alright, that makes a lot of sense. And now a little bit more of a personal question. You are one of the few players that has a family and also competes. How do you work around this? Does it make it easier for you, or is it actually something that you have to take a bit of time away from the game just to take care of your, your personal relation?
I think it's the hardest thing for my wife, because than for me, because it's she that has to fill a void of 10 months a year of missing me, mostly because when I'm away I miss her, but at the same time I have responsibilities such as playing 10 or 12 hours league a day and trying to practice, and this time is kind of passes by, and at this time I don't feel like I'm missing that much. Some thoughts are coming by, but I try to get them away to practice as well as I can. So I don't have that much time to to be sad about not being with my wife. But the time, yes, I have to take some time of my practice, usually 1 hour in 2 days, to spend some time with my wife. So it's not that much, but we try to be together as much as we can. And maybe next year we will also be not as far away as we were before. I mean, in terms of locations, because, for example, our Russian league is in Moscow and we live in St. Petersburg. So it's we only meet when I had a break or something like that, or when she came over. But maybe we will move to Moscow and live there, so we will see each other a little bit more often.
And well, even if you're now feeling sad over the C9 defeat, you will have the off-season to sort of, get a little back into those sorts of feelings. What are your plans for the off-season?
I think my body waited for this off-season for I think a month or something. I was very tired physically when we just played straight 10 months almost without any rest, and now I just have to put my face into my pillow for a couple of weeks, or maybe at least 1 week, just relax, maybe enjoy some time with my family, of course, with my wife, spend a lot of time. I will give her as much time as I can, because other time I just play league. And also, I don't know, maybe I will still go with Gambit, I will try to do whatever I can to improve our team if it's needed during the off season. If it's not needed, then I will just spend time on my own, maybe doing something that I like, that I didn't decide yet, when you play Worlds, you need to understand that it's more than, I think it's month and 2 days of possible games, and I don't really expect to lose in the first day or first week, so I don't make great plans right after I will probably lose the games. As I lose the games, I start making plans, and today is just the next game after we lost, and I just didn't have enough time to figure out what I'm going to do. Exactly.
Makes sense. And do you have any message for both Gambit fans and also the people that have been following you since you were sort of the king of the jungle in Moscow 5 and innovated, all the fans that really love you and are following your games?
Yes, I have some words, and thank you very much, guys, for following me for all this time. Thank you very much for everyone who has joined just recently and who just liked my playstyle or whatever you like, guys. I'm sorry that we didn't get it further in this tournament, but I think we still showed some decent quality games in this year, and I hope in the next year we will make it even further. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much for your time in this interview. Podéis seguir la cobertura del Mundial en esportmaniacos.com y esta entrevista la tendréis subida al canal de YouTube de Esportmaniacos y también la podréis ver al final de los programas como hacemos habitualmente.